this week's show, we talk about the first SCCA Super Tour that happened down in Sebring this weekend. We then talk about Dakar going on down in South America with a full update from Bill Wood. And then we finish the show up with the Raw before the 24. Welcome to the Insider Report. Welcome to the Insiders. I'm Errol Tucker, and joining me on this voyage for 2012 from Cocoa Beach, Florida, Peter Keene, and in Los Angeles, California, Bill Wood. How you doing, gentlemen?
Wonderful. Is this a fantastic voyage that used to have back in the, what was it, the 80s? Yeah, great song, fantastic voyage.
Fantastic racing voyage.
Okay.
There you go. So, gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about this week. We had the Raw before the 24 that just went on. We have Dakar going on down in South America. And then, of course, SCCA started off with its Super Tour this weekend, national event. And Peter, you went to that. How was that?
It was a great event, Earl. I think there was 300 competitors there. You know, I mean, it was great racing. The weather was Chamber of Commerce. You couldn't get better weather. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. You know, right. Sunny skies, no clouds, and you know, it was a lot of good racing. I know, you know, the stuff that I'm interested in, the Showroom Stock and Touring and Super Touring race groups were really well subscribed, and I mean, there was really competitive, you know, races. And then here you go in your world of man drama, Tucker. You know, the Spec Miatas. I think there were 6.
And I missed it. I'm really sorry I missed this weekend.
You've been running about 20th, but that's all right. But, you know, there's
okay. I do very well at Sebring, I'll have you know.
You get the wrong car. So I think there were 62 cars there, 56 or 57 of them raced it. And, you know, I guess the whining paid off because now is the time of the 1/6. You know, Todd Burris whipped everybody's ass in the 1/6. And I think
Well, Todd is always good at Sebring in that 1/6. He's always run a 1/6, and he's always competitive.
He's riding around out there, though. You should have saw the sand pouring out of his trunk as he's sandbagging around there in front of them guys. So he has flat ass got him covered. But, you know, that's the way it is. That's fine. I mean, a majority of the cars are, you know, SM cars are 1/6s anyway. So it's not really a bad thing.
Right. So let me ask you, this was the first weekend of what's called the Super Tour. Explain to me how, and to the folks out here, how the Super Tour kind of differs from a regular SCCA national event.
What they're trying to do with the Super Tour is, you know, kind of bring back some of the pageantry of the past. So the schedule is kind of different. The schedule is a little weird, you know, because and you know, at Double Nationals before, we used to qualify, you know, for Saturday and Sunday on Friday. And then you qualify again Saturday morning for Saturday's race and Sunday morning for Sunday's race. And, you know, so you got 2 qualifying sessions. Well, this one wasn't that way. Essentially, we practiced for the first session Friday morning, and then we had a Saturday qualifying session for Saturday's race. And we actually ran the races Saturday morning for the first national. And then they broke the groups out. There could be no more than 4 groups in each race. So they actually went to 1 extra group for the tour, and then we qualified Saturday afternoon and Sunday morning for the tour races. And then it was just like the runoffs. They did 1 race an hour. So, I mean, you know, you got to do a victory lap for the guys that won. You know, there was a podium celebration with champagne, you know, announcers. It was a lot more, you know, prestigious to win these events. I mean, if there's any negative I have at all, and I don't really, I mean, I kind of like the way the event went, is it's just how long it takes. You know, when you had 7 run groups, it's 7 hours to get all those races in, you know, because they were right on, just like the runoffs, they were, you know, 1 race an hour for 7 hours.
So now they're going to be doing one of these in each of the regions. Is that what it is?
Each of the divisions get 1 Super Tour event. That's correct.
Gotcha. So, okay. Good. Okay. And then you're off to Homestead for the second
wait a minute. Before we get into that, how'd you do? Come on. You just can't go down there and you were more than
I wasn't going to put him on the hook like that, Bill.
No, come on.
I finally had I hate to say it, not to be cocky, but I finally had a weekend I could be proud of. I mean, I think there was 10 competitors in ST Light.
Finally.
So, I ran up front all weekend with Jim Drago and another gentleman in a Miata. So it was 2 Miatas ganging up on my poor Acura Integra. And, I don't think any of us are really developed yet to the ST Light rules, but it was a good match. I had a little bit of horsepower on them. They had a little bit of handling, and then it was just who wanted to hang it out, the most. So, it was great racing. We were up front. Yeah, it was excellent. Saturday, I got a little tired, ran out of steam, and my arm locked up. And then Sunday, I pretty much think I had it covered, and got blocked by a T2 car and had a little off-course excursion, which was probably my fault. I should be smarter. But all in all, 2 third places for me, a win and a second for Jim Drago. So the CRB guys were looking good this weekend at Sebring and ST Light.
Imagine that.
That's kind of the way it works.
So you're off to Homestead next weekend, correct, for the second national
Homestead
of the
next
year?
weekend, and it's kind of one of those crazy rationals. So it's regional and a national put together. The car count's nowhere near as strong as what it was at Sebring, but still, with it being a rational, it's still, I don't know, there's 250 cars, maybe 230, something like that. So it's still a decent weekend.
Good deal. All right, fellas, we're going to take a quick break here, and then when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about Dakar. I believe it's going on strong as ever, and we have Gordon near the front. We'll be back.
Hey, Mario.
Hey, what do you got in this thing?
16 valve, 2.4 liter engine, 200 horsepower. Air conditioning.
32 valve, 3.5 liter engine, 650 horsepower, air conditioning.
Honda builds every Indycar engine. It's our commitment to racing and engineering. The same engineering that goes into the all-new Civic, the official vehicle of the IZOD IndyCar Series.
Welcome back to the Insiders. So we're going to talk a little bit about Dakar, the great rally of the world going on down in South America. Bill, I'm going to throw this right over to you because you are our Dakar expert.
It is a great rally of the world. It's a great adventure. I say that all the time because the competition is competition, and if you play to win the game, you race to win the race. But it's an adventure, and it's more of an off-road race than a rally. But, for example, they're running at the top of the world in the driest part of the world. One of the deserts they're running through, it's never rained there before, at least as long as they've been keeping records. It's like 15,000 feet in the air. Some commercial flights go under that. So it's a phenomenal place. Some scientists compare the Atacama Desert to Mars, literally the surface of Mars, and they're racing there. Right now, Robbie Gordon, as we're taping this, Robbie Gordon has moved into second place, the USA team with a GM Hummer H3. He done well. He's done well. I think he finished second in stage 7. His teammate Nasser Al-Attiyah has won 2 stages, so the Hummers are doing pretty good to be 2-wheel drive cars against the all-wheel drive minis. So it's
now I hear there's a little angst between possibly the teammates there over at the Hummer camp.
Yes, there's a little bit of angst. Al-Attiyah has had problems. The first day, his engine just stopped, and he had to be towed out of the stage. He finished 38th, but he's moved up to 6th overall. He's won a second stage, but there's been a couple of times where Robbie has had to stop and help him to make sure everything is okay, to tow him out of the stage. And there was, on the TV show, 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 Pacific on the NBC Sports Network, Robbie said that they've had conversation, and he said that maybe we're not going to stop and help anymore because the time that he's lost in helping Al-Attiyah, last year's winner, has maybe cost him the opportunity to be at the top of the line. So when he said that over the weekend, I'm like, man, that just opens the door for you having problems and Al-Attiyah having to help you. So you know that's going to happen at some point. Al-Attiyah is going to have to pull him out of a scrape, and what do you do then? Al-Attiyah has said in his sound bites that we're a team, we're going to work together as a team, and we're going to win this race.
Well, that's funny funny working with Robbie in the past at Spirit of Daytona. I can see him telling somebody that if he got frustrated, I'm sure he'd tell him you're done.
Yeah,
so
you know.
That's pretty. And then he's in second as we tape this. Is it something that he can overcome? I mean, is that something he can run them guys down?
He's 7.5 minutes behind the general consensus leader most of the time. There's two minis, Stefan Petterhansel, who was leading early in the week, and Christoph Holowitz. Doesn't look like that's the way it's pronounced. It's spelled with all kinds of consonants and vowels in strange places. But Christoph Holowitz from Poland, he's, I think, third overall. And Peter Hansel and Christoph Holowitz have been trading being first or and leading the rally. So the 7.5 minutes you could lose at a sneeze in Dakar. All you need is a flat. Right. All you need is something to go wrong. The other day, one of the problems that Alatia had, he lost 30 minutes because the hose came loose, boiled the water, took a half an hour for the thing to cool down enough to restart. So it doesn't take much to lose time at Dakar.
And he lost 30 minutes, but yet he's back up into 6th place. So that just goes to show you that, something can go wrong and you can still kind of recover from it. There seems to be, I believe there's 6 more stages still left in the rally. So there's a lot of time for Gordon to move on.
Well, it's going to end on the 15th. So whenever anybody's looking at this, it's going to be over on the 15th. So Robbie could be leading the rally by 10 minutes or be an hour behind at any moment, literally. But as we're doing this, he's very strong. The Hummers are very strong. 2-wheel drive cars going against all-wheel drive cars.
And that's what makes this event so, dramatic and such a joy to follow. Is it's, the drama can just change from one stage to the next.
It is a fantastic voyage. Thank you, Lakeside. It is a fantastic voyage. It's something that you have to follow. You could care less about rallying, but you've got to pay attention to this. Just know where it's going, and these are some of the most insane areas of the world to be competing in motorsports.
Sounds good. Excellent. All right, gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the Raw before the 24. We'll be right back. The club, an amateur racer. Here at GoRacingTV, we salute you. And we want to give you all the tools and info to compete with the best. Find out how to do it all from your own garage by watching our Club Racer and Autocrosser shows. GoRacingTV.com, supplying all your video racing needs. Welcome back to the Insiders. So we're going to talk about what was going on down at Daytona, the Raw before the 24. All the teams are out there practicing for the Rolex 50th anniversary of the 24-hour. Peter, I'm going to throw this right over to you, being our resident Rolex correspondent, working with the Spirit of Daytona.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wasn't there. Obviously, I was down at Sebring racing myself, but I was getting daily updates. I mean, the Spirit of Daytona guys are real happy. I guess the consensus is the number 10 SunTrust car's got everybody covered right now, but, it is a 24-hour race, so they seem to have the most speed with that, Corvette Dallara that they run. But Spirit of Daytona boys are happy. They only had one mishap. They had a little transmission problem, and I think on Saturday, and they just got to get that resolved and go forward. But I think it was, a really good test. I talked to... Yeah,
all in all, it seems like the Corvettes have it covered.
Well, I don't know if that's true. I mean, the Rileys knew they were having the same aero problem that the Corvettes were having at their first test. So, I mean, I guess Ganassi had some trouble, got taken out in night practice. So they actually just packed up and went home. They didn't even run Sunday. So they got some aero issues with that new body style as well. And then, I mean, they put that big, wing blocker on the back of the traditional Daytona prototypes and slowed them down like 7 or 8 miles an hour. So maybe they went too far with that. So that's kind of pushed the new cars to the front that the older cars have been hindered. So we'll just see how it works out. I mean, the one thing I was talking to Todd Fliss this morning, he figured Juan Magnussen on our lineup would be the aggressive one, and he says now after this weekend he thinks Oliver Gavin's probably the most aggressive guy we got. So that's pretty impressive.
Peter, it looks like, and I don't know, I'm not there, but just looking at the results, the Riley is new, and they've had some problems. Even the Gainsco team, the Red Dragon, they have a Riley chassis and a Corvette body on top of it. I think they're the only ones with that combination.
Right.
And they were kind of slow. So, I don't know if it's the Riley or maybe the way the Corvette body sits on the Riley chassis,
there seems to be an aero with that new Corvette bodywork. There just seems to be an aero vibration problem that makes people uncomfortable, and it seems, I guess it's not only Corvette, because really Ganassi with their Riley, pure Riley chassis was kind of having the same issue this weekend. That's what the boys from Spirit of Daytona says, that the 99 guys were kind of struggling for speed. They tried to put a lap together and just never could run that top lap. So
Fords were struggling for speed too. I mean, they were in the top 6 or 7, but the consistent was the top 4 were always Corvettes.
Yeah, but I think Michael Shank was being smart. According from what I heard, I think those Michael Shank boys they had their stuff rolling pretty good. So, and they're Riley. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. There is a big difference. We were fortunate enough to get the first Corvette, so we've had 2 tests at it, and there is a little bit of aero issue that you got to work through. These cars are really pitch sensitive, and you got to kind of work that out. And they seem to get loose as the run goes. The tires get older. So I mean, it's just stuff that it's kind of back to the beginning of Daytona prototype again. So.
New cars have to work out what the new package
I do think the new cars, the new chassis, the new bodies do look a lot better. They have new rules this year.
Right.
The new bodies look a lot better.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right, gentlemen. Real quick, also there's some word that Travis Pastrana is going to be running in the 24.
Yes, he's running with a team in the Rolex GT with Ferrari, with Michael Waltrip, his business partner at Pastrana Waltrip Racing, and Waltrip's business partner at Michael Waltrip Racing. I think his name is Robert Kaufman, and there's one other guy in the car. But Travis, it wasn't just a thing for promotion and some spotlight at the testing. He's in for the 24, and Travis is a pretty good road racer, despite what people might say. I've seen him race before on a road course. He's very aggressive. He's a very good disciplined driver. And to top it off, a friend of mine, Tyler McQuarrie, a drifter, also races in Grand Am. He's an instructor at Infineon. And about 10 days ago, Travis spent the day with Tyler, and Tyler said that he was an excellent driver, gave him some instruction to try to help him turn left and right on pavement instead of on a rally road.
And Tucker, I just want to, I want to add, I think there's 45 GT cars entered for the 50th 24 hours. So that's going to be a massive field. I mean, they got the Audis, Ferrari, the typical RX-8s, Camaros, and I think there's 3 or 4 Mustangs. So the diversity in the GT field is going to be phenomenal. There's some really good teams, and I know our guys are worried about in the middle of the night, coming across a 5 or 6 car GT pack and trying to work through it. So that should make that's a whole nother dynamic.
Yeah, the Audis.
Yeah, besides the anniversary aspect to this, I think this is just going to be a historic event with the competition in itself.
Yeah, the Audis kind of surprised me that none of the Audis showed speed this weekend, and they were, I think, GT3 or GT2 cars from Europe. I expected them to be a lot faster.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. we're gonna have to cut this one short. I'm sure we can go on and on for hours because, like I said, this is going to be a great 24-hour this year.
Hey Tucker, I just do want to call out to Irish Mike. He finally got his head out of his rear end and got that BMW running. He swept he swept the weekend.
I noticed that on. Yep, that's one thing about the Super Tour situation, the SCCA Super Tour, is that they are giving Twitter updates, and I was following the action via Twitter as to what was going on. So that's he was
building a new motor a couple weeks ago and couldn't get it to run. He was having all kinds of problems. I said, Mike, it's really going to be bad if I got to slow everybody else down because you can't build a motor. Well, he finally put it all together. His stuff is stout, I'll tell you that. So. Anyway, that's good for Mike. That's all he loves that stuff. So it was a good weekend for both of us.
Good. All right. Well, you have fun down at Homestead. I'm going to be heading across the pond to the UK to the Autosport show. That's the UK's version of our PRI. So I'll be giving you guys updates as to what's going on over there, and I'll give you a full report in next week's show.
Hey,
remember, folks.
Hey, Tucker, did you get yourself a set of jeans with no pockets and some slipper shoes so you look like a real European over there? I'm sure you already got the man bag.
Exactly. They're already packed in the bag. Yes,
oh,
I do.
Good Lord.
But so folks, remember, you can always tune in to GoRacingTV. We have a new look now with the new website, and we've made it a lot easier for you guys to navigate through the site and find the videos that you want to find. So until next time, you take care.
Night.